We really have to do the picture contest today.
Yes, picture contest.
I can't forget that.
Did we have a topic last time?
I
don't know.
No, we didn't. We'll have to generate a topic on the fly. All the pressure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should be live. Hopefully, someone in chat says something, confirms that you can hear us, that our voice sounds okay. Contest. I can't forget that. Oh.
Did we have a topic last time?
You can hear us. That's no good. There's nobody there.
Why don't you hit that post button there and retweet Pwnage Twitter?
All right. Did you tweet the Pwnage Twitter?
Mm-hmm. I twatted.
You twatted. Sweet. All right. Where it is? I don't see it. You didn't tweet shit. Oh, there it is.
Nice.
There we go. That's
watching us retweet.
Hey guys. Hey guys. These are those moments, those first few moments. See people come in here. Show chat. You can do it. It's really exciting. This is the first moments where we don't really want to talk because people are coming in and we don't want to repeat ourselves.
Well, I should probably let the Patreon people know what's going on.
Oh, neat, yeah. Hey, you know, if this one actually saves and doesn't, you know that we lost most of the last stream? You know
no,
that
I didn't
people
know that.
tweeted, no? Yeah.
What was the deal?
I don't know, like only an hour and 15 minutes of it was saved on Twitch. Nothing was muted, but we didn't get it. Our first Patreon stream, so we couldn't really put it on Patreon because, you know, it's not there. How come, I was talking, hello. There we go. Hey, dude.
It's a lot of flags.
Yeah, that's totally like lots of flags. How's our voice volume? It's good? Voice is good? You can hear us talking? Hopefully it sounds alright.
Mm-hmm.
Viewer list here.
You mind pulling up the password for this stuff?
Yeah, okay, I can do that, man. I can do that. Do.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Dudes. Voice good. It's low. Sounds good. Nice and clean. Oh, that's it. There we go. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Congrats on your 2 weeks vacation, man. Yeah, Vancouver, Victoria. It's a pretty nice place. It's a pretty nice place. Yeah, my hat's broken again. They sold me a funny hat. The brim goes off to the side. It's weird that way. But, they're selling them all over the place. 9. Can't be 9. Something's up, man. Maybe everyone's watching the Gamescom? No, it's totally over, I think. Thanks, man. It's good to see you, too. Alright, was that stuff posted? Oh, yeah, because you gotta boost it and stuff. Let's pay a bunch of money and do that. Totally. Sup, noobs? It's really quiet.
Is there...
It's maxed here.
It's maxed on the mic, too?
Yeah, on the mic. I'm pretty sure. I even added the, like, dB gain option. No, I didn't. Here, I'll turn that on.
Oh, that's better. It might be a bit too high level.
Okay. Yep. Hello.
There we go.
Is that good?
Well, it's probably distorted, though.
How's that? Is that too distorted, guys? Is that? Yee! Oh boy.
See, it's probably distorting right there, but...
Oh! Maybe. Fantastic volume. Now it's loud. Much better. Perfect. Woo! Like hearing that. I did not see the ESL finals, but I paid attention on Twitter. I was driving back from far away. I had like a 3-hour drive out to a wedding that I totally forgot about when I booked this stream. So it's been a long morning. It was a late night, and
how was the wedding?
A late morning.
Did they get married?
It was cool. It was a second marriage, right?
Oh yeah.
They're in their 60s.
Oh, really?
They're both professionals, you know, so it was a much smaller, more intimate affair than, you know, your first marriage in your 20s or 30s. When like,
It's not like,
no.
Look at her in the dress. Oh,
Yeah,
it's not all that. It's very different.
It's all the people, everyone's just super serious. And there's like 30, 35 people, really small. They just rented the back of a really nice restaurant, had like a 4-course meal, and just, you know,
nice.
Said, you know, we're married and cool. And justice of the peace, like straight up, like no BS, man. It was awesome. And
just get her done.
And get her done, then fell back to this heritage home, this $1 million heritage home that was just gorgeous, and all hung out there. And then I am, yeah.
Yep.
And then drank and danced the night away till like till 4 or something. And now I'm a bit slow today, but it was good times. It was good times, you know. Some
good times.
Yep. Cut myself off. I fell down. That's usually a good moment where I probably had too much.
Yeah.
Switched over to water. Was very wise. Had 4 liters of water before falling asleep.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So I think that's why I'm not dead. So, yeah, that's a wedding, man. No drunken punch-ups. Good times.
Nice. I went to a pig roast yesterday. The whole pig.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
But it was raining. It was pretty brutal. But yeah.
Oh, dude, that rain was brutal.
It was crazy. But yeah, this guy lives out in about 20 minutes away from where we live, and he's actually has a swimming pond. Like there's like a deck that he built out that goes out into this pond, and it's like a natural pool, that's like completely maintenance free, self cleaning, that you can like go swim in this pond. It's pretty cool. It's like living out on the land.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of dogs running around and a full pig on the grill.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I didn't have time because I got home really late because of traffic and whatever. It's hard to predict a drive that's that long. And again, booked this prior to the wedding knowledge of. But once again, yeah, didn't have time to set up the subscriber notice. Still, wish I had. Yeah,
but we're doing Patreon mostly now.
Yeah, I know. But people inevitably. The guy sitting next to the owner looks like Edward Snowden. That's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Edward Snowden and I differ in one big way. I would have probably kept the $130K a year job in Hawaii. You know, like,
Jeff doesn't have the balls.
I don't know if I have the balls to
save the earth.
Or I would have quit. I would have resigned and then started. But like, yeah, I don't have the balls. I don't have his balls. Like to be able to do that, to know that the most powerful men on earth are going to be after you.
Yeah. To know that you're never going home.
Like,
you're never going home to your home country that you were born and raised in.
Like
you're never going to see your friends and most of your family ever again.
Yeah, I'm not saying what he did was I'm not judging his decision or saying. I'm just saying I wouldn't have done that because I lack the balls.
Yeah.
And you know, people talk now in the news about a post-Snowden era.
Yeah. No, he really changed things and for the better. I mean, I'm really, really happy he did that. He's a very brave man. I think I, like many people, would like to believe I would do that. Be like, oh, I'd totally do that. But the reality is that is such a scary proposition that honestly I probably wouldn't have the balls. I'd like to believe I would, but realistically, like I'd be too chicken, and I'd sit and take my money and then an anti-anxiety medication to get to bed at night when I try to cope with what I'm doing for a living. You know. Yeah. That's how I'd roll. I'd medicate myself.
I'd help by being amused by the absurdity of it all, and yeah, as best I could. But yeah, I don't got the balls. Yeah, apparently.
No balls. What is the owner's stance on herbal aim assist? Fuck is herbal aim assist?
No, is that a scam? What do herbal? No, maybe that's not a thing. Does someone make that up?
I think something.
Well, you know, it's funny that I believed it could be a thing. But do you remember back in the day when herbal, like, it must have been the early 2000s, herbal took off. Did we talk about this before? Maybe we did, but you know how toothpaste is one of those things that always has to be getting better and better, but it's like an Escher staircase of improvement. It's like, new this, oh my god, new this. And like, I remember when I first saw herbal toothpaste, I was like, come on, like put herbal on something, it'll sell 30% more was basically the marketing fact.
Now it's organic.
Yeah, organic toothpaste, like organic this.
Yeah, organic.
Like come on.
Which means so little.
You really need like herbs in your toothpaste to promote your health. I don't know.
No, you don't. Here we go. Did something terrible when I entered the stream after you? No, nothing terrible. Gluten-free is the biggest scam ever. I mean, honestly, if you haven't been to a doctor and have been diagnosed with, what is it, celiac disease or something, and you're actually spending extra money to buy gluten-free stuff, like you might be dumb.
Yeah, like
it's possible. But hey, placebo, man, it works. The brain's a powerful thing.
You know, there's some vegetarians, friends of mine, that buy straight up gluten to cook with. They like buy powdered gluten and they like make excellent pizza with it. Like you know, they make a pizza dough and it's like they're vegan or whatever. Except they eat fish now and then, but like their diet is very healthy and it's like they just have straight up gluten. So it's like the whole like simple message of like gluten is bad. Like it's a massive jar of bad that these super healthy vegetarians are like eating and they're very
but it's not super bad, man.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's not super bad. It's I don't know too much about it, but it's found in a lot of like grain and wheat products. It's like some fundamental whatever protein or sorry, not protein. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't know anything about biology.
I know a little bit, baby.
Yeah,
I did it.
A little bit of biology.
I reproduced. I know something. Where's the best smoked meat sandwich in Canada? Well, the full name for smoked meat is Montreal smoked meat. So you'd probably take a guess that it's in Montreal. And I think that you'll find that most Montrealers and most smoked meat sandwich aficionados would argue it's either Schwartz's Deli, which is very original style, old school style. It's still like classic white diner. Looks like this place just warped out of 1955. Or Reuben's.
Which is a more modern approach.
It's a more modern approach. Personally, I prefer Reuben's. I've eaten a number of times at both, and for my personal tastes, Reuben's. But most people I meet seem to be like Schwartz. But I think they're saying that to be pretentious, like they're being hipsters because they know it's like the older style. But I mean, fucking Reuben's, man. Oh my god.
Reuben's, they got a graphic design team. They dress it up. They're like it's like a restaurant. And like they make the plate like a regular restaurant. But like Schwartz's, last time I was there, was just like basic plate, like bread, meat, bread. Just like done. It's just all about the meat.
It is. It's this much meat. Like if you've never actually seen a legitimate smoking sandwich, they are fucking hilarious. Well, I guess you've seen them in the show, but they're ridiculous. They're even more ridiculous than they were in the TV show. Like honestly, I've had ones that are just the bread is so thin, it has one little bit of mustard on it, and then it's just this stack of meat, and that's it.
And sometimes the bread sits at like a 85-degree angle.
Yeah, and you can't actually eat it. You're not supposed to pick it up and try to eat it or anything. You just take out the meat with a fork and sort of eat it, and maybe dip it in more mustard or something.
And then have like a manageable amount of meat.
God damn, I'm hungry, man.
You are.
I've had a couple smoked meat sandwiches last week. There's the that
place
shop
here,
that place over there. Yeah, it's not bad. Too small, but could eat a couple of them and then can't afford that. But
yeah, if you go to Montreal, go to both. You might as well if you're going to be there for a couple days. If you order like a big sandwich with extra meat, you're going to want to share that shit, right? You can't take down a whole Reuben sandwich like the big version, right? Mm-hmm. Like honestly, just share a sandwich because they're too massive. It's too much meat.
Yeah. Should I support the Patreon or subscribe to stream? Either is obviously good for us, but I mean Patreon puts almost all that money actually goes to us.
Goes to the movie.
Goes to the movie until the movie's made, and then we'll go to whatever the hell we do next, I guess. Mm-hmm. Hell we do next, man. Yeah.
Oh, Original Sin 33 is in Montreal. Or he's going to Montreal. He's got the hotel.
Should we show him the movie? I can just drag and drop the movie on the...
we got the software.
Yeah. I'd have to set up just a little... Show him like one page. No.
Show him the title page.
Show him the title page.
It's good. Yeah, I was rereading the script today, going over it, and it's really solid. I love the...
Stacy's loving it.
Yeah? Yeah, she read it for the first time today, huh?
Yeah.
Did you get through the whole thing?
No, not quite yet. Mm-hmm. But I kept hearing her laughing.
Nice.
And she's running around the house talking about discrimination, so It's pretty funny.
Oh, it's good. There's already some lingo is caught on.
Already some lingo, yeah. So it's good. I'm excited. I love other people reading it. So the script went out to some more people. We've increased the set of people that we're now soliciting feedback from the script. So.
You watch Trailer Park Boys and you love it. That's good.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen any of their movies. I keep meaning to.
I haven't.
But.
I wonder what the new season is like. Is that yours or mine?
Well, I missed a call from you, and I missed a text from you. Sorry about that. We're not drinking beer. We're drinking carbonated apple juice.
I'm drinking actually grape juice.
Grape juice.
A Riedel stemless glassware.
Yeah.
Which is very nice.
Very nice for grape juice, that one. Yep. And, Jeff, do you guys like John Oliver's Last Week Tonight? After watching all the streams, rants about controversial others, I'm inclined to believe they do. I love it, man. I think it's great. Obviously, HBO even killing the late night talk show style. Really funny. I'm also a big fan of Jon Stewart. And
the one question I'd ask Jon Stewart if I ever... Stephen Colbert?
Okay, Jesus, that was driving me crazy. Yeah, Stephen Colbert.
If I had a chance to talk to Jon Stewart, I've been dying to ask him this question. And that is, he talks about a bunch of news things. And he brings up a lot of absurdity in politics and in society and in the culture. But some of it is pretty absurd and pretty bad. And, some of it needs changing, sooner is better, and it needs changing in a big way because people's lives are affected negatively by a lot of this absurdity and corruption and whatever else, and the state of politics. So, but he's part of what he does is he calls this stuff out, and he's in a way that is entertaining and making fun of it, which is great. But at some point, if the subject matter is so serious and so bad, is there an effect of people watching him and being like, oh, Jon Stewart laughed at it, it can't be that bad. If Jon Stewart makes a joke about it, things can't be that bad. We're still laughing about this, right? Things can't be that absurd or that bad. It's not really something we really have to worry about because we're all laughing about it, and Jon Stewart makes jokes about it. I don't know. It's at my bar, I think would be around the same as Jon Stewart, but Jon Stewart does have a bar. At a certain point of bad news, he doesn't make jokes about it. Like when 9/11 happened, right? He was personally affected by it big time, and he just had a big serious talk about it instead of making jokes about it right away. But anyway, I'm just wondering what the effect he has on the issues that he's talking about, and is there some sort of lack of activism or lack of change because he's making jokes about it? I don't know. Jeff, your voice is making my girlfriend irrationally angry. I find it hilarious. I'm glad it's irrationally angry and not rationally angry. Because if my voice made a bunch of people angry just by the way I talk, that would be bad news for me.
I moved my phone away. They're saying the phone was interfering with the mic, and it's also rude. Rude to be in our phones texting while streaming. Is still balls a popular beverage? It would be, is balls still a popular beverage, just to help out your English. But otherwise it's a great sentence. And no, I don't think it ever really was popular. It was very briefly here in 7-Eleven, which is a huge convenience store chain, but they never really took off. And their name might have held them back because it's a bit ridiculous. But they still exist. I saw some recently. I had one at the Node actually when we were in Calgary. I think they had
that
balls
unique
there.
Bottle,
Yeah. But Monster, man. Do you hear Coca-Cola just bought I think it's a 16 or 17% share in Monster for a 1-point-something billion.
Yeah,
So ridiculous. Monster's worth over $6 billion or near a $7 billion valuation.
It's just the brand.
It's crazy.
It's the same sugar and chemicals as anything else, but it's just a brand. It's amazing.
I put my hat on sideways because it bothers people, so I'm glad that it bothers your girlfriend.
No one's buying balls.
I would never, you know what's funny? I would never go outside. I wouldn't be seen by anyone. But every time we stream, I just tilt that motherfucker. And I don't know why I find it funny. Shinky says he got a balls at Fry's the other day. Yeah. So do you guys game Titanfall? How about Advanced Warfare? Are you guys going to get it? I have not played Titanfall. I saw some demos for it, and it seemed like very Gears of War, like very dark and dismal, gritty like thing, and it's like FPS. I've been like really disappointed by FPS for like 10 years, I think at this point. So, but I am gonna get Destiny. I pre-ordered Destiny, mostly because Stacy loved it. I got the demo. We got the demo here, and I think I talked about this, but I made it at most an hour. But then Stacy ended up playing it for quite a few hours and really liking it, so I picked it up. Oh, fuck it, and pre-ordered Drive Club. Drive Club, yeah. So we'll see how that is. Some social racing game or something, but yeah, I should get a game. The only game I have on my PS4, I've had that thing since launch day, is Flower. It's like a downloadable game that cost me $10 that I bought with a $10 gift certificate the system came with, and I don't even have a PlayStation Plus account. So I've never actually played anything on my PS4 until the Destiny beta. And then I just installed PT. Have you heard about PT?
No.
Okay, so Derek messages me like 2 mornings ago or something. And he's like, hey man, have you heard of PT? And I was like, no, what's that? He's like, oh, I don't know.
Is it that scary game?
Yeah. You just kind of walk down, apparently, I know I haven't played it, but you walk down the same hallway over and over. You get to the end of the hallway and it opens the same hallway again. So he's telling me, he's like, holy shit, dude, like it completely fucked my mind up. I ended up playing it. He's like, I must have walked down that hallway 500 times late into the night till I was so fucking tired, and then I went to bed. But then I kept having nightmares and kept waking up and kept hearing things. He's like, I was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night and I kept hearing the things that I would hear in the game. And he was saying he was having audio hallucinations and he was completely freaking out. And then he's like, you should play it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Like I'm not into that. To be totally honest, and I'm probably not the only one, but like, man, I still run up the basement stairs at night. There's still like, when I'm in the dark in the basement, some of my instincts are going. Like there's some protective thing going. My heart starts racing. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I'm going back upstairs. So like, I've never been a fan of horror. Like I don't understand the pleasure in scaring the shit out of yourself. You know, sure, being choked or hit or something. Yeah, I can understand that's fun. But being legitimately scared is not something I want to spend my time or money on. But Stacy loved it, so.
There's a guy, Tal Zimmerman, in Toronto, who's making a documentary called Why Horror, and it's about why people like scaring themselves in a safe way. And like
Tal Zimmerman?
Yeah.
Did he just get funding for that? I know CMF just released a bunch of
he did. He got some money for that. Yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, he plays the agent's boss in Pwnage. He's an actor, performer, writer, creative guy in general. Yeah, and it's all about like, at least from what I saw from the preview, is like, why do we like scaring ourselves in this way? And like, cause he's a horror junkie. He's like a super aficionado. He's like got rooms full of horror posters and memorabilia and like, and he's making this movie obviously. So he's big into it.
And there's the two types of horror, like the good horror, the quality horror, which are
we're talking about whores.
Horrors. Yeah, sorry, horror. Horrors. There's 2 types of horrors, man. The ones that get on the street, and the ones that show up to your house in a Mercedes.
Yes.
But are the ones that actually legitimately scare you without making loud noises or making scary faces. Like I have no respect for movies that are like, wow, someone jumped out of the closet, woo, and make you scream, like, or look how scary and freaky that guy is, like, look at the makeup job. Like, none of that shit's really scary to me. I find it totally annoying. Like when something jumps out and makes my heart race, it's like, you know, it surprises you, but it doesn't frighten you. But then you can watch some films like Silence of the Lambs, and they really stick with you. The things you think about afterwards. Well, I find like, you know, the scariest stuff is like 1984. You know, reading some dystopian novel or watching a film like that. That's terrifying because you see the reality around you, and you're thinking, oh, this is happening, and you know, I think that's a proper horror. But yeah, man, I think most modern horror movies aren't scary, and they're just really annoying. But at least the ones I've seen, all the Freddy shit and Jason shit, it's so campy.
Well, that used to scare me when I was a kid. You know, like I remember that. Like, I never really watched the movies. I've just seen clips of them. But like,
coming out of the guy's wrist.
What was that one?
No, doesn't he like take one kid and he's dangling? I don't know.
Chucky scared me.
That phone sound. There's no phone anywhere near.
There's one in my pocket.
Well, that's so far away. That we'll put it on the chair back there. But I mean.
Yeah.
Could it be my monitors interfering with the mic? That must be it. I I wonder if that makes it any better. Did that make it any... Okay, well, we'll find out in 30 seconds if that helped at all. Maybe it was my monitor because it was physically touching a part of the mic. I don't know. There's a weird buzzing sound. Yeah, strange.
What's going on here? Buzzing.
Oops.
Yeah, somebody...
Oh, that's not on, is it?
No, I'm not doing
still happening lightly. It's just the electromagnetic interference caused by the vibrations.
Huh.
Anyway. No, it's 100% a phone, guys. I don't know what to tell you, man, but I think a phone would need to be closer than 6 feet to it, right?
I'll turn mine off.
But, weird. Is it that... Yeah, Jared, do you have your own place now? I do. In my 30s, finally not living with the mother-in-law. It's pretty good. No, it's good. I'm very happy to have found a place, and I hope that I stay here for a long time. It's cool. Still settling in. Still trying to,
furnish and decorate, because there's ain't no shit on these walls.
No, this is the prison room down here. But yeah, PT stands for playable teaser, by the way. And so it's not actually the game. And
is that why it's just one room?
Yeah, and that was their marketing. So they never announced this game. They didn't show it at E3. They didn't do anything, as far as I know. All of a sudden on PlayStation, there's PT, P.T. Like, download demo now, like free. Yeah. And it's like some game company name no one's ever heard of. It's like a front. And apparently they even kind of shitted up the color and the contrast and whatever on the graphics to make it look more indie and make it look more questionable. So you don't know it's a AAA game and stuff like that. Like this is what I'd heard anyway. But so when you watch it, you know. But if you can win it, and no one knows how they won it, by the way. So there's all these people on Kotaku like, well, I did this and I won it, and they're like, well, that didn't work for me. I won it like this. Well, that didn't work for me, and it seems like to be randomly generated, or there's something that's really complex to finish it, but everyone seems to finish it differently, and so even that's kind of weird. But yeah, when you win it, it reveals what it is, which is actually Silent Hill, the new Silent Hill, which is like 4 or 3 or something, and it's being made by 2 pretty big dudes, one of whom is Hideo Kojima, the Metal Gear Solid guy,
and Del Toro. Wow.
So basically, it's going to be an incredibly scary game that I will never play. But yeah, it looks ridiculous, dude. I wish I.
Just show me screenshots of you Google.
Yeah, right? I sent one. Derek chat. There was one made front page of Reddit.
They don't save them anymore. They don't save chats in Gmail.
Oh, really?
Anymore. Yeah. I don't know why.
What?
It's balls.
Oh, lame. What?
It's like 2013. Like all your old chats.
No, I was just the other day I was looking at chats. What? I think they just moved them. Maybe maybe the chat threw me off. Yeah.
Oh,
see?
yeah. They don't tag them with chat. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Look at that shit, man.
That's some photorealism.
Yeah.
So is that an enhanced photo, or
it is? It's been brightened.
Mm-hmm.
It's been brightened. It's much darker in the game. But yeah. This comes at you in the dark, and this is the hallway you walk in over and over. But I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm too scared to try it. Yeah, pretty interesting.
So you've obviously heard about the new WoW, right? New WoW expansion.
Yeah, they've been tweeting. I can't remember the name. Warriors of Draenor or something like that.
You know, I watched. They released a cinematic trailer for it, and you know, like I watched it and I was so underwhelmed because of the Riot Games cinematic trailers or whatever the Riot Games stuff is really making Blizzard have to step up their game, because really it's like I watched it and I was just like, you guys, you're doing the same thing. It's not 2008, right? It's like
yeah.
You look at the detail and the care, and even in the sound design, and like they have behind the scenes for all the Riot Games cinematics, and they just have an A team on every aspect of production, and Yeah, they've really raised the bar for cinematics, and even Blizzard is like, they're like, oh, it's like an EA kind of thing going on here. You know, it's like, it's okay. It's like, oh, I hope the game's better than the cinematic, but like, you know, the cinematics that Riot Games have been putting out just blow me away. It's like, it's great in every aspect of production. In
the last Riot trailer, it was pretty impressive graphically. I mean, it's no Pixar, I guess, but it's, you know, it's no Frozen or some shit. I don't know, but no, it's really good. But I mean, mentally, right? Like in terms of the story, if you can even call that, it was like, you know, pretty straightforward, pretty juvenile. It's like blah beats up blah, but then it comes out of nowhere, blah beats up blah, and then it comes out of nowhere, blah. Oh, and then he wasn't really dead, beats up blah. It's like, I felt like I was watching something that was made for 12-year-olds. So, I mean, I was like, wow, that's nice graphics, but you know, I feel embarrassed right now.
In terms of that, but you know, I think my favorite was the Twisted Fate one, where it opens up with Twisted Fate. I think that was really well done.
Yeah, that was from like Gamescom a couple years ago. I think.
That one was amazing. And so you know, the new level cap is 90 apparently, and for the low price of $60, you can get a character boost all the way up to 90.
No way.
Yeah, you get to choose a character, and in fact, if you pre-order a certain whatever blah blah, you get one free character boost up to 90, and it's called Join the Front Lines. Get to 90. It's like skip the leveling process, like completely, like, or is the new cap 100?
Yeah,
and you get to 90 so that you can but still, it's like
you can get boosted, and you can get boosted from 90. They're saying no, Jeff. So the level cap's 100. But
what's the real deal? Correct me because I'm wrong.
PewDiePie, I'm sure, is hilarious to 8-year-olds, as evidenced by his success on YouTube, but really annoying for me to watch. You know, but I don't think that would surprise him or offend him. But he's not making stuff for 30-somethings. And I totally respect what he's doing, actually. And I think it's pretty cool, but obviously it's not. I'm not the target demographic of PewDiePie. $60 to get boosted to 90,
and the new,
and then you go from 90 zombie Dragmar. Subscribe, zombie Dragmar. Oh, Stace, leave me alone. Okay, wow, that's still so lame. Like, if EA did something like that, everyone would be shitting on them. But watch the Blizzard fanboys just suck them off. I love Blizzard. Like, I really like so many of the products they put out, and I've played almost every Blizzard game that's ever been made. So I don't mean to shit on Blizzard, but man, Blizzard fanboys bother me now, and they're actually bringing down my love of Blizzard, which is not fair to Blizzard. But like the dick riding that Blizzard fanboys ride for Blizzard is really fucking amazing. So not only did all the people who shit on League or Dota 2 as MOBAs being easy RTSs, super simple RTSs where you control one unit, that kind of comment, like, then they go and suck Hearthstone's dick, right, which is like made for, I don't know, quadriplegics, and now there's Heroes of the Storm, which is literally a casual version of League of Legends, which in the minds of all these whiners in the first place was a casual version of something, casual. Even though it's the biggest esport that's ever made, it's casual. And then they make Heroes of the Storm. And now these same guys on Twitter have complained about, are just Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm. It's like, dude, oh my god, man. Like, really, you got to get off that dick. But that's part of the problem. That's part of the big machine that is Blizzard. And that's the big machine that is esports, is that if you want to keep your job or you want to get a job, you got to ride that Blizzard dick, man. And you can't, like any other games, you can't play any other games, you can't talk about other games, man. If you're in some way involved in Blizzard esports, you're not fucking involved in other esports. And there's not some rule. No one talks about this. There's no rule written down somewhere. But I guarantee you, man, you'll all of a sudden find yourself not working for Blizzard esports if all of a sudden you start liking non-Blizzard stuff. So you can shit on League of Legends, but here's the Storm, like, you know.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Like, it's not even comparable, I think, to League in terms of skill, but...
Well, they do their research, you know. They saw there was a market for
that's how Warcraft was born. Warcraft was a noobier version of Command & Conquer. It really was. Like, it's been their model for a long time. But I appreciate it because they prove, and I agree, it's like, and Nintendo does the same thing, is it polished. Like, if you release a quality product and then you support it, Like, you just release something so fucking polished and beautiful with great sound design, and then you support it post-launch, you support your community, look what happens. You get a $1 billion company out of it. Look, what a fucking magical formula. Like, I love how EA actors, and they still can't, I mean, these are obviously really big companies, but they churn out 100 times the games to maintain the same level of income, right? Not figuring it out, but yeah, no, I mean, there's no shame in it, but that was their model, and it's great. We got a lot of great RTSs and great games out of that, but
yeah.
But I do not think Heroes of the Storm is a polished League of Legends by any means whatsoever, or polished version of anything. It's just a newbier version for people that are too intimidated by Dota 2 and League because of, you know, all the champions and stuff like that. But
actually, I haven't played it. I'll try it out someday.
I have it here if you want to see it. I can put it on stream tonight. Do you want me to play Heroes of the Storm tonight?
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm tonight? Yeah, we'll check out Heroes of the Storm tonight. All right.
Oh, by the way, I was playing some LOL the other day, and I had an unskilled moment, and I said, no, you know, help me out, guys, I'm unskilled. And someone actually said, I see you've seen that video too.
Nice!
I was like, ha 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 ha, I'm the guy in that video. You probably don't believe me, but I am.
Oh, you actually tried to get the belief? Yeah, I
tried to get the belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the video got
really
up to over 50,000 views now, and I am unskilled is now a recognizable tactic. They know what you're up to. So watch it. You gotta think of a new one now.
Yeah. Yeah, I am unskilled on stream. There's a funny stream game. You should watch it. It's from the last time I streamed.
Oh, you did it? You had a moment?
It's one of my last games, yeah.
Oh, you got to cut a highlight then.
And my team won. We won the game. They disagreed with how I played the game. They shat on me during the game. And then they kept shitting on me after the game in the champion select. And I was like, okay. And I am unskilled during the game. And they said, yeah, you are. Like, uninstall my Leona.
It didn't work.
Yeah, no, it didn't fully work.
It doesn't work in ranked, I guess.
I argue it did work. Because even though all of a sudden they weren't helpful and kind, I felt like no one told me to kill myself. No one told me to get AIDS.
Success.
Right?
Success.
So it only got to uninstall the game. That's pretty fucking tame. No one called me a fag or an N-word or anything like that, which, you know, some people do. But, yeah, so, I mean, who knows, right? I'd have to split the universe to see just how bad the harassment would have been had I not typed I am unskilled. and in fact, and I kept going with, like, every time they'd say something, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but pretty much like, yes, that is good advice. Yes, they're like, well, practice more. I'm like, that is what I'm doing.
I'm doing that right now.
That's literally how I'm
do you want to queue with me?
Yeah.
Teach me more.
They wouldn't want to queue with me, but we win the game, and I'm still getting reamed at. So yeah,
that's funny.
The problem with MMORPGs is they aren't built for theme park content-driven games anymore. John Smedley, hate him if you want, 100 explains why sandbox MMOs are the future. Which is funny, because they were the past. That's how it all started.
They were a great past.
And the reason that games like World of Warcraft really took off is because they're well-designed machines, designed in part by psychologists to keep you on a mouse on a treadmill, just keep you, you know, doing one more task for a tiny bit of cheese, one more task for a tiny bit of cheese, and just going, and satisfying something super primal, something at the back of your mind that you just feel like you're getting all these micro bursts of satisfaction and productivity, and they make you feel like you accomplished something. Every 10 seconds, everything you kill, you see that experience bar moves a tiny bit.
And the gambling, the loot might drop.
Oh, of course, like the gambling.
And when it does, it makes your whole night,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and when you're given a sandbox, and you're not a creative person, or you're used to treadmill games, you don't even know what to do with it. You're expecting, well, how do I get my cheese? Like, where's the stupid menial task that's actually not fun at all to do, but I love to do it because I'm trained like a fucking monkey to keep pushing that button to get that cheese. But, I mean, sandbox games, like, yeah, again, well, I've talked about UO, man. UO was the greatest MMO ever made, period. And it was, like, pretty much the first. You can argue, okay, I mean, there was MUDs, and there was this and that, and there's some other bullshit. But I mean, really, like, they knocked it out of the park. It was it was a league of its own. Absolutely amazing. The most immersive MMO I've ever played. Look at the graphics. 800 by 600, top down, no out of the eye view or anything. But I'm telling you, when I played Ultima, I was in the world. Like, it was such a fucking living, breathing world that you were a part of, and you could make an impact on that other people could see even when you weren't logged in, because they see your fucking house or the results of your work by chopping some fucking trees down and shit like that. I mean,
yeah, if you log out of WoW, There's nothing. There's nothing you left behind.
No, like, you're just gone and you vanish, and then you come in and everyone does the same thing, and then they run. There's no multiple instances. Like in UO, if you're like, I want to go to that dungeon, it's like, oh shit, other people are here. It's like, well, either leave or kill them or do something. But and EverQuest originally was like that too. It was still EverQuest was the first treadmill MMO, right? WoW just honed, like WoW took EverQuest and honed it for a casual market, and made the big bank on that. But WoW had instances, so you go into Molten Core, it's your own guild's instance, and that's just it. But EQ, no, like there's only one Lower Guck, and everybody wanted to be in Lower Guck, and you got to make a choice. Like on my server, Ralosec, it's like, am I gonna kill them, start a war, and then camp that spawn, or do I just come back later? But I don't even know on blue servers. But EQ must have been frustrating. You get there, and people there are like, sorry, it's like you can't do anything like.
It's like first click, first serve.
I guess you can sit there and try to get the kill shot or something.
But that's cool. I love that aspect that the actual human, the player-made politics came to bear there. It's like, do I start a war? Do I want this item so bad that I would start a war and then be ostracized by my team, by my community?
Which are real... sorry, man, my brain is so so fuzzy today.
Gahandas Monday, subscribe.
But Gahandas Monday. Real consequences. I couldn't find the word consequences. Man, I feel really half retarded today. I think there was a question. Smedley also made the point several 2000 years. John Smedley was the Sony dude, and he was a big figure in EverQuest, and I don't know if he's a big figure in EverQuest now or whatever. But sure, like when you design a treadmill game like World of Warcraft, it's pretty hard to enter the market now and compete with World of Warcraft because they've been adding treadmills to this game for a decade now. Like, how old is this game? You start playing World of Warcraft now, there is so much content that it will probably take you years and years to consume it all before you're at the front lines waiting for more. But if you're a hardcore player and you've been playing since the start, they put out an expansion pack, you fucking rape it all in 2 weeks, you consume it all, and then you just sit there whining and complaining for more content because you're not able to generate your own fun because it's not a sandbox. You don't keep building. But
Bam Berserk,
just subscribe. But yeah, man, this new EverQuest, which is combining Minecraft, they split the alpha into two parts. Like, there's an EverQuest component, and then remember I showed you Landmark. It's called Landmark. It's like Minecraft but high res, and you can build the most incredible things. And I recommend now, but I wouldn't want the stream to be muted. Go to YouTube and search up something like Landmark. I think when they ended the first beta, they had to wipe all the player structures. So what the developers went in and took video of the stuff they thought was most impressive and then put it on their YouTube.
Yep.
You should see what people built, man. Like, it's absolutely amazing, and it actually made me excited to play
build better than the developers probably.
They would, yeah. You give them the time, man, because they actually probably care more. Like, people will do better work out of passion than they ever will for money, right? I mean, especially artistically, you should be far more motivated by being passionate. So fans of games will make better shit, just the same way Brood War fans made the best maps, right? And I think any developer is crazy not to have, if they have a game design that it all fits user created content. They're insane to even bother wasting their time making more than 1 or 2 maps with the game launch. Just release your fucking map making tool. Let the community take over. They'll make better shit than you possibly can. Man, some guy out there will spend 5,000 hours for free to just hone the details and make the most beautiful thing because he loves doing it. Whereas the other guy at your office is just some guy who's clocking in, clocking out, getting his 50K and going the fuck home because he actually hates his job and wants to go have a beer and fuck his girlfriend, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I actually logged into WoW a couple weeks ago.
Don't do it, man.
I didn't go on my account. I don't want to give them money, so I'm not. I was like, oh, play free to level 20. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just roll a new character and dick around because I actually wanted to go and like have the nostalgia of having a new character in Dunmorrow, and I was like, oh, I'll roll like a gnome and like see the old quest, like just as a nostalgia thing. It's been 10 years. I'm like, I'll make a new character for free. So I had to make a new account and then a new Battle.net account, and then I got my free level 20 play, whatever. And I rolled this gnome, and it's all changed. It's like the gnomes are taking back Nomergon now, and there's a war. So you start in Nomergon.
So you can't ever go back and just have
Well, at least with gnomes, I don't know. Maybe if you roll a human, it's different. But they've changed it all. They made it all new.
Oh, so you can't even go back and reminisce.
You can't even go back and I don't know. Maybe Hogger's still there. Maybe like Stranglethorn Vale's the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've been updating the lower level content and changing the story and pushing it forward. And like, so you can't actually just have the exact same experience for nostalgia anymore. Apparently, maybe it's different for the different races. Maybe someone can correct me on stream who's recently, but who would recently have gone back and leveled the character from 1 in WoW? You know, yeah, Cataclysm changed things, but was it Cataclysm that changed it to Nomergon? You know, the Nomer starting area. Like, I don't know, because you know, it was fun back in the day running Nomer and like doing that instance, but now it's like
I had fun on my Smurfs. Like when Jay started playing, and you guys started playing, and then I went back and I had my tank. What was his name?
It's in the show. But yeah.
What the hell was my dwarf tank's name?
So are there no more raids?
He was a tank.
A tank, yeah, tank.
Yeah, that's right. ATANK. And that was funny because you go to Iron Force, we're like looking for a tank, and be like, sup, and they'd be like, lol, and they'd invite me to the team.
Tank.
Yeah. Oh, I miss a tank. Oh man, I can't.
See, it's nostalgic, right?
It is nostalgic, man. No, I enjoyed World of Warcraft, dude. I mean, I had a couple 60s. Like I played the game quite a fair bit. I mean, but.
So Novergon still exists as an instance? Can you go do the same instance that you would? Because it was a 5-man instance, right?
Yeah. Nothing was bigger than 5, I think, at that level.
Yeah.
Even when I first hit 50 or whatever, everything was 5 until you got to upper.
And then it was 40.
What was it called? Upper.
Blackrock Spire.
Yeah, UBS. Yeah.
UBRS. Yeah.
UBRS. That's right. UBRS. Yeah, and like Strathholm and Scholomance, those were all 5-man instances, which I think they later increased. I don't know.
They did 15-man versions of them or whatever. That would
Strath and Skolo, UBRS. Just drop my Valor Helm. How could I roll a 6? Which is like, the poor Valor Helm guys, man. Someone asked, Jarek, do you ever think there'll be a game like UO again? I think people might make a game like UO again, but the experience that I had playing UO and the people that had playing back then will never exist again. And that's, and I've talked about this before, but that's, I believe this, anyways, this is my opinion, man. But there's now options. Back then, if you wanted the MMO, well, back then they were called PSWs, Persistent State World Experience. If you wanted a massively multiplayer experience like that, you pretty much played UO. And so there were people that hated PvP and never wanted to be killed, but they had to play in your game. And that's great because it added diversity to the player base. And so there are people out there, these guys that were terrified of PvP, and they just kind of hid from it. And that gave something for people like me. If I enjoyed Robin Hooding the most, that's what I got the most out of these games, is protecting those people. And that gave me something to do. EA found out pretty fast when they bought UO and split the world into Fallujah and Trammel, and they made it Blueby and then PvP, is that the only people that go to the PvP areas are, once given an option, are the PvPers. So you have a whole land full of PvPers, but there's no one to protect. So it not only killed it for them because they have no one to farm. They don't have any. All the murderers have no one to murder except themselves. That's not very fucking fun. And then I have no one to protect. It's not fun for me either. I don't want to go to Trammel and just fight murderers all day because the context has been removed, right? So there was such a wide variety of player types that were kind of thrust into the same world and really didn't have a choice about it. So if you wanted to run a store and be a craftsman, you did that in UO. If you wanted to, tame animals, you did that in UO. You want to be a player killer, a PK, which there were obviously many of. You do it in UO. You want to be an adventurer, you do it in UO. And then it forced them all together. But now instead of there being Fallujah Trammel, the argument is there's World of Warcraft, and there's EverQuest, and there's Guild Wars, and there's all these different things with these different focuses, all slightly different, that cater to a very specific type of MMO playing audience. So everyone goes to their own game to get what they want. So if anyone made a UO now, I think it would be a lot like a Fallujah, where the percentage of people that were PKs would be way too high. The percentage of people that are legitimately not interested in PvP and just want to be tradesmen or whatever would be too low. And you wouldn't have the right balance to create like a really thriving culture, and that kind of sucks. I don't know how to. I don't think it's fixable. I don't know if it's fixable. I don't know. I think if you had the right consequences, UO made some good headway. Like they had an actual like sort of legal system, right, so to speak. So there was, you know, if you committed a crime like stole something out of someone's bag next to you, because you know in UO there's snooping skill, which you could level up, which would allow you to look in bags, but you have to stand adjacent to someone. So if you're like in a town and the guy stands up next to you, you're like, get the fuck away, like right away you're moving away.
Which is great. It's like
yeah. Real. So he comes up to you, and then you know if he steals something but gets caught by the random number generator. He'll go gray because you sort of saw him in the game. His name goes gray, which flags him as a criminal, which means that anyone that's for the next 10 minutes while he's still flagged, it's like I think it was a 10-minute flag. Don't quote me on that. It was some amount of time he's flagged a criminal. Anyone can kill him without repercussion. You're allowed to kill a criminal, right? So now he's murderable, and all his stuff on him is takeable for no criminal consequence. Mm-hmm. If you kill someone, same thing. As soon as you attack someone, as soon as you attack a guy who's blue, which means law-abiding, you attack a law-abiding guy, you go gray immediately. Anyone around can defend him free of cost and kill you, no problem. But of course, if you attack a guy that's gray, you're blue, and you see, oh, it's a criminal, let me attack him. As soon as you attack him, he can defend himself without getting a murder count or taking further legal penalties because you did attack him first.
And he's just a thief at this point.
He's just a thief. He's not a murderer. So at this point, he can kill you. So in fact, a lot of thieves would go steal to go gray and sort of bait in newbies to attack them because they're pro PvPers and they'll fucking kill you without a murder count. Because in UO, once you had too many murder counts, your name went red. At which point you can't enter town. You're always gankable by everyone. There was only one thieves town in the game that guards didn't kill reds. And it ostracizes you from the entire community. And it takes a certain amount of hours of gameplay before the red counter goes off, and then it sort of in the background keeps track, which is, you know, rudimentary, but it's a great system. It was a great system to help the players self-police, which is what you really want in a sandbox game. You want everything to be done by the players, right? You know, people had elections. It was crazy. You could build a ballot box in UO and actually have elections. So when people like elected guild leaders, you could literally, you know, cast your ballot, and you know, so and player cities sprouted up, right? Like whole areas where so a bunch of people build a house, and they're kind of like, okay, like let's call this area block. Yeah, it happens naturally. And I'm super. I know Raph Koster was building a game that was super sandboxy like 10 years ago, and I don't know whatever happened to it. It never came out. And a lot of these guys, he worked on Star Wars Galaxies. They're really into procedurally generated stuff.
Yeah.
Which often makes the world just totally bland and uninteresting when you're used to World of Warcraft, where everything's crafted by an artist to be beautiful. But
well, you know, people talk about, oh, the guy that made this game is now working on this game, or like, you know, they're like, it seems to me like the art form of video game design, it's hard to have a consistently successful superstar, you know, like the Coen brothers, right? They almost consistently make good movies that I want to watch. But like, you know, what was the big disappointment when you're like, oh, the person that was the lead designer on Generals is doing this new RTS. What was that called even?
John Van Cannon.
I can't remember the name of the game, but we were like all excited. It's gonna be like that, but then it's like, no, it's not as good. Anyway, it's maybe because video game design is all about the team. You know, you have to have the same team working on it or whatever. But, you know, you have lead designers migrate to another project and you're all hopeful. But then it's like, it kind of sucks and it's not as good. And yeah, the things that I liked about your last game aren't in the new game. So, sorry.
Jared, do you think your age and responsibilities played a part in your enjoyment of UO? I don't think I could play a game like it now that I'm older. I've lost my sense of wonder. I mean, I'm sure it has. I mean, I'm as we all are. I'm a different human being than I was 15 years ago. Fundamentally different now, I guess. But I think that, and part of why I enjoyed it so much is that I pretty much lived there, right? I spent more time in the world of Ultima than I did on the world of planet Earth, right? like literally, if you even look at the 24 hours in a day. So I felt like I lived and breathed there, and I had my shop there and my friends there, and it was like an alternate life. And so I could never do that again. You know, I have a family and a career, and so there'll never be a time in my life until I'm retired where I can make that investment again. But I think it's possible to do that again, because I was already an adult when I was doing this. Pretty much, it wasn't that I didn't have a childish sense of wonder. I had a ton of time on my fucking hands, and if I'm retired,
I
think if there was a new UO and somehow you could build a community that even closely resembles that, like, 20, 30 years from now when I'm retired. I think it's possible. Like, I think it's possible if I can put in 8+ hours a day every single day, and that might be the best way to spend my retirement years. It's better than hobbling around as an old man in this world when I could just go back and be young and a dragon killer again,
Oh, I was just going to say that like 30 years from now, retirement homes are going to have the pimpest gaming rooms, the best internet access. Like you walk by retirement homes now, and there's a bunch of people in wheelchairs sitting out on the front, on the sidewalk, they're just enjoying the sun in the day, and they're sitting there.
Sun.
It's like, I'm going to be in the sun with a pimp-ass computer with a pimp connection.
Oh, well, I mean, it'll probably be direct neural by then, but the sake of today, it would still be like an Oculus Rift HD, like HDing out through 3D UO2, like building, just chopping some trees and crafting my bows and running my store, man. It would be awesome. Yeah. It would be pretty awesome. I think that as I get older, too, I become more reinterested in things like role-playing and taking games on a more relaxing level. Then I think, I don't know if I would go out there and try to be the biggest, player killer possible, or player murderer killer possible, and then, duel as much as I did, and focus everything on being the biggest ass kicker possible. I don't think that'd be my objective anymore if I played, especially if it was another 20, 30 years. I'd probably really just, take on maybe a businessman role, try to be a pimp businessman, be a rich man, kind of like an EVE Online style approach. I don't know. Might be fun. Floating in a tube of liquid, suspended.
Just floating in a tube.
Yeah, living full time. Yeah.
Living in a tube beta.
I will sign up for that beta. I will, yeah. Yeah, people talk about this Arch Age. I don't know how to... it should be Arc Age, right? But it's ARCHE Age or something, which is kind of like, to me... Sorry, I've heard the game's actually very, very neat, and some people on my Twitter that I follow have been talking about it.
What's the deal with the game?
I don't know. People up here were talking about it. I guess it's a bit like UO in that it's very player controlled, and I think there's housing and all that kind of stuff. But just strictly the name, I think you're stretching to try to get Arcade when you have to misspell it and do all weird things. It's like, maybe you should just think of a different name. But
it's the next level MMO, huh?
It's the next level MMO.
Star Citizen. We played a lot of. You were replaying the games, right? What are they called?
So I was looking up Arcade here so I can show you some.
Oh, it's a sandbox MMO.
Yeah.
What was the Chris Roberts game?
Huh. Oh, it was originally Korean, huh? Korean sandbox MMO, huh? We can wait another year on the movie?
No.
Jeff, maybe we should start playing this. Can you tame stuff? There's my big question. That'll get me to install.
Wing Commander, that's what it was.
Yeah, Wing Commander.
So you were replaying the Wing Commander.
I was. And then I just couldn't do it with my PS4 controller. I needed an old stick. And then Evan offered to lend me a stick, but then I moved. And now I live so far away from Evan. But Evan, if you're out there, I should, if you're still up for lending me that stick, I should still borrow your stick. And then stream those classic Wing Commanders. It was pretty fun, but yeah, it's not really playable with a mouse and keyboard. At least it didn't seem to be. And then I tried a PS4 controller, but it was just too sensitive. You really needed the big stick, You
need a big stick.
A really big one, a thick one. It's very delicate.
Yeah, I would love to play an MMO from day one with friends and stream it online and be like, okay, yeah, the movie's done, by the way, and it's out and everyone loved it, and we're going to work on the sequel, but we're going to take a month to play 8 hours a day of this MMO.
Yeah.
And stream it for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I think it'd be so much fun.
I would do the shit out of that, man.
Do a set of a pimp room and just play this MMO.
Dude. keep it going 24/7 too. So like there's always someone playing. It's a 24/7 stream that's always going.
In fact, I wanted to do this back in 2005 with WoW. I wanted to rent a house and have a TV show that was like
that's right.
the best on the server. We talked about this quite a bit.
If there was a Twitch TV back then, we would have done this. Like we absolutely would have done this. Yeah. Lived and breathed it.
So that's one of the things that we're planning in the future. And wouldn't that be great? And then we'd have people play with us and see who can keep up. And, maybe there's some people that are already playing the game. And, but yeah, I think it would be fun to...
Hartles Brad! Nice. Hey, dudes. So yeah, that's right. So people are talking more about Arcade here, and they're saying, it's free to play, but there's a debate as to how good you can be if you choose not to ever pay any money. And that's right. And I don't remember specifically what it was, but I was super interested in it. It's interesting. And then I got to a point where it was like, if you pre-order this, you get like this mega bonus, and if you do this, you get bonus. And all my interest, zero.
Yeah.
Because man, if you haven't learned why League's big and what Riot did so right, it was never, ever, ever, ever for one penny compromise the competitive integrity of a game by having any pay-to-win element at all. None. Zero. Like you can't ever get a tiniest fucking advantage in anything. Like that's. It's just so fucking critical, like, and it's absolutely amazing. Like, I was reading, so I think it was an article on Kotaku. They're talking about like a letter that was legitimately sent to Nintendo, Iwata, their president, by a big group of investors, like multi-billion-dollar like VC firm in the States.
And they said, make pay to win.
They're like, we're really interested in Nintendo. Have you been seeing what's happening with microtransactions? Like, just imagine, what if you could pay 99 cents and Mario could just jump a little bit higher? That was in the fucking pitch email.
Just vomit. Just like vomit.
Not
vomit,
getting
vomit,
it.
Vomit,
like
vomit.
Zero understanding of what a real gamer wants out of a game, and what's going to just send people running. And I would never touch a game like that. I never touch. Oh fuck.
For 99 cents, if Mario could jump a little higher. That is if that is exactly what is in that letter. That's amazing.
It is.
It is the quintessential worst possible thing to do to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Their number one character.
Is microtransacting to be
microtransacting. That jump height is like, I can't think of a better way to ruin Nintendo. Like besides taking a rocket launcher to the headquarters or whatever. But yeah, that's probably more destructive than rocket launcher to the headquarters of Nintendo. Someone asked an important question here. Any news about the audio video clips for the 500 plus pledgers? We've been sending out all of the audio clips, so if you haven't got your audio clip, then you probably have not responded to Jarrett's emails. So write.
Yeah. Although I think I remember Satirius. Some people have been non-responsive, so I've sent out their audio clips and I never even heard back, and I think they might have signed up with Indiegogo on bogus whatever, but we have completed all the audio perks. Mm-hmm. So write noobschoolbus@pwnage.com if you haven't received yours, with whatever email address that you want me to reply to, and I'll reply tomorrow with your audio clip.
Myron was a pally in Cardinal Sin.
Far fucking out, man. Myron was a pally. Pay to win is depressing. Yeah.
Who was that? Woaz?
Woaz
was a classic guy in Cardinal Sin.
Yeah, I remember. He was a druid.
He was a druid. Right? And we were all raiding. It was a 25-man raid. It was the jungle raid. I can't remember the name of it. But, like, he was jumping around and dicking around and, like,
Oh, here we go. He's on Jeff's shit list. Dead to me. Coming soon.
Dude, that guy, he was dicking around, and then it was like, he wasn't prepared. I can't remember the details because it's been so long. But he wasn't prepared. And, He was jumping around and, like, he was wasting 24 people's time. So if, like, every minute that goes by is 24 man-minutes of wasted time. And, like, we were ready to go in, and then he's like, oh, I gotta go back to Ironforge to buy some shit. And it's like, well, you were jumping around and dicking around, like... And then, he didn't fucking repair. That was it. He didn't repair. He's like, oh, guys, I gotta repair. And it's like, what are you doing jumping around and dicking around? And so he had to fly all the way to Ironforge to repair because he was soulbound somewhere else, whatever. But then there was another complication after he repaired, and like I got so mad at the guy because I'm like, do you realize 24 human beings are sitting at their computer waiting for you, and you're so not on the ball, you're so dicking around, like, oh man, you don't really realize it, but
it's a lot of people's times.
Yeah, if we were all in a room together.
You'd have punched him in the face.
No, I wouldn't punch him in the face. It would have become more visually obvious to the man.
Finally been the...
When this, imagine 20 people looking at him. So, how's that Griffin to Ironforge?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that? And then he's sitting there, guys, I'm so embarrassed. Fuck me. Like, 24 sets of eyeballs looking at you being like, yeah, great. When are you coming back? When can we go into the raid? You know. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and pay to by pay to win too, because people are saying, Dota 2 you don't have to unlock the heroes. I think that's the case. I think you just get all the heroes. And in League of Legends you don't get all the heroes. You don't get any heroes. Although you start with some in-game currency and then you can buy really cheap heroes. And then every week there's a set, I think it's 10 or up to 14 champions that are free to play, and they keep those in rotation. So if you play one for a week, you really like them, then all of a sudden it falls out of rotation. Now you want to buy that champion. But all of that's purchasable for in-game money. The point is that nothing takes real money, but some of it takes in-game time investment. But the thing is that really only affects Smurf accounts, because before you're able to possibly be competitive in any sense of the word, you've long leveled to 30, you've long bought every rune and champion that you like or want in the game, and you're not even close to fucking diamond. Like,
and at the end of the day, suppose you drop $50, which is the average price of a new game. Right?
Yeah, $50.
You're pimped out.
You're fucking pimped, dude. $50. Oh, like, come on.
Or you just play for free.
You just dropped $60 on this year's incarnation of Madden.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, fuck off. You know what? $60 in League is pimping your RP for a long time. But what's great about League is, like, there's some stuff like runes you can't buy with money. Like, you literally have to play the game to get them, which I think is extra cool, right? Yeah. There's only costumes. Costumes are the only thing that have to be bought with money. Some things are both, which are champions. You can either spend a couple bucks or play the game for a while and buy it within game. But then there's some shit that you have to literally play the game for. But anyways, like I said, unless you're making a Smurf and you just want to have access to everything because you want to make a new account, then it's not even really relevant, because you're not going to be any good at the game until you have enough to do all that shit anyway, right? And fuck Smurfs. Like, honestly, like I hate the idea of losing your accountability. Like, you can be a total shithead on your one account, and then I just hop on my Smurf, and then I'm free of consequences, and etc. etc. It's like, you know what I wish? I'm gonna be fucking honest here, and I know most people will disagree with me. Maybe it's because I'm old. I fucking wish it was all real full name, everything. I wish you didn't have fucking aliases in League of Legends. I wish it was your fucking name above your head.
Wasn't there like a big backlash when that policy?
Oh no, that's why I said 90% of people will disagree with me. Yeah. And I think that it's the only game in the world that does this is iRacing, which is a racing sim. But their target demographic is like 30 plus, people that can afford full-on rigs and that take it really seriously. But you know what the community's like? It's absolutely fucking amazing. It's like you're in Japan. It's like everyone's like, oh yes, I'm sorry. But like, everyone's so fucking cool because it's your real fucking name. You want to be a dick and tell a guy to kill himself? He's going to look you up in the phone book, come and punch you in the fucking face. Like,
he's going to call you on Find Your Facebook.
It adds accountability, and I guarantee, man, you're playing League of Legends and it's everyone's real fucking name. The toxicity would drop to 0.1% of what it is.
They should have real fucking name Legends and just have a different server and like have people play with their real fucking names.
Yeah. Make a Legend server, League of Legends Legend server. You know, like EverQuest introduced back near when I quit. They're like, we're gonna put out a new server. It's called the Legend server. It's $50 a month instead of it was $10 back then. It was $10 a month for EverQuest. $50. I laughed. I was like, who the fuck is gonna pay $50 a month? Dude, half my guild left.
What was the difference between the Legends server and what was the premium you got for $40?
Better customer service. So if you petition a GM because there's a problem in game, he's going to show up in the next few minutes instead of 2 hours later.
That's great. If you're willing to pay that shit. Then
and then items got introduced to server faster with higher drop rates and stuff like that. But it's the whole world. Like,
higher drop rates doesn't mean shit. It's like,
but here's the big challenge. But that's fine if it was isolated. It's like if you want to play on a server in which everyone has a GBS. Mm-hmm. And you want to pay more for that, then go ahead, because you're missing a point of the fun of getting a GBS is the rarity. But, you know, the worst part that ruined it and actually rippled and ruined a lot of other servers, including mine, was that you could pay to the transfer fee, go there, farm up for 2 months on a blue server for free with the high drop rates, and then transfer back. Look at me! I didn't have to level on Rallosec. I leveled in Blue Land and came to Rallos and fucked you all up. But,
that ruined it. I wonder how.
I love that you said names because all then said phone book. Seriously, what the fuck is a phone book? Let me look in the phone book, Jeff.
The phone book. It's like that's funny. Look them up in the telephone directory.
Yeah. Thanks, Kizmandius. Yeah.
You used to have to pay to not be listed, right? You used to have to pay to have an unlisted member, which I thought was interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's like I don't even know if I'm in the like cell phones were never in the phone book, right? They were always landlines, right? Unless you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you'd be charged airtime or whatever it was like back in the day. The tribunal is an absolute joke. Yes.
Yeah. I know, and League is really toxic, and it has to do with it's free to play, so there's no barrier to entry. So every 12-year-old in the world can download and play it right now.
Yeah.
So the $60 box copy, it's actually a nice barrier to entry for small children because they just can't afford $60. So right there, you're bumping by a couple years probably the average age of the person playing your game. And then I've never played a game like League, although Han and Dota 2 and maybe Heroes now, I don't know, they might, I'm expecting they're all roughly the same, but I've never played a game in which you are that dependent on your teammates, where one teammate sucks, like the whole team loses. Like that's it. Like another guy can so easily cost you the game, and that makes me rage sometimes. Like I rage all the fucking time, but you know I try not to rage in the game. I try to do my raging in the room here. But I've never had a game make me as mad at other people. Whereas back in the day, if you're playing like CS or you're playing other team games, any other game I can think of that's a team game, man, if you have one guy in your team that sucks, fuck it, whatever. Like, at the start of the round, he gets shot every time, whatever the fuck. If you're really good, you just shoot all the other 5 motherfuckers yourself, like, just like that, and the round's over, you win. Man. You can't do that in League. You can't just 1v5 a team like you can in CS, right?
I had an interesting, I want to know what you think about this. I had an interesting ARAM where I was severe, and Ash was, like, a weird noob. Like, Ash, the first thing that Ash built was a Ravenous Hydra.
Wait. Ash is a noob. Anyone that even chose Ash, right away they're a noob.
Well, it's ARAM.
Oh, it's ARAM. Okay, yeah.
ARAM. So, Ash was like this newbie Ash.
Oh my
god,
god, a Ravenous Hydra.
So Ash built a Ravenous Hydra, which, for those that don't play, it's a melee-only bonus of cleave. So if you are melee, which Ash is not, it gives you a bonus. If you are not melee, there's no bonus for the cleave. But it also gives you some kind of lifesteal, whatever else. And I was thinking, like, maybe this Ash, like, has some secret build that, like, is out there. So Ash builds a Ravenous Hydra, and we're sitting there, and the whole team, I'm like, Ash build equals GG, like, in chat, and people are like, lol, Ravenous, Ash, really, lol, lol, lol. And we're playing, I'm severe. I had like 8 kills, 6 deaths, it's ARAM. And the game's like halfway done. And everyone's ragging on Ash. And then I look at the stats, Ash has 10 kills and like 7 deaths. And I'm like, how the fuck does Ash have more kills than me?
With the Ravenous Hydra.
I'm like, am I that much of a noob?
Well, it's only the cleave that doesn't apply. It's still 75 damage and lifesteal.
Yeah, it still is, I guess. And people are like last hitting, man. I'm like, still, like, we've been playing for like 15 minutes. Last hitting is like 1 or 2, but like, 10 last hit flukes? Like, what are you doing? But anyway, we lost the game. But yeah, I thought maybe there's some crazy meta with like the Ravenous Hydra on a ranged. Like, what the fuck? But I don't know. We should do a photo contest.
Yes, before we forget.
Yeah.
I need a beverage first.
All right.
How's your beveraging?
Oh, I'm all right. I got my beverage supply.
You ready?
All right.
I'll bring down supply then too.
Can you bring that Perrier in the fridge? That's how I roll, man. High-class water, the Perrier. Dropping them name brands. Yeah. Well, you want a Perrier too, please? Beverage me up. We should do a live stream someday, like, as in live in person. If we can get a venue and then have a good enough internet connection. We could have a stream live in front of a studio audience. I wonder how that would go. That might be fun. Someone linked lol builder Ash. Nobody uses Ravenous. Thanks for bringing up Cardinal Sin, says Myron. It brought back an actual anger. Oh, nice.
Stuck.
Is that
You look super guilty. Oh! I thought you were kidding.
No, I brought Perrier in the fridge.
Are you cold? Do you want me to bring the sweater to tie around your neck too? Did you?
No, I'm actually warm. I'm about actually. No, I'll grab it. No, you keep. I'm in no hurry. I just thought if you were up there, but I'll grab it in a bit.
Yeah. You're drinking grape juice, Perrier. No. Oh shit!
Dude, my high-class beverages.
Hope my ball cap isn't offending you.
Actually, I was. It's funny that you say that because the Perrier was leftover from the pig roast last night, and I was the only male there not wearing a ball cap.
I bet you were.
It was like a small town Ontario gathering.
Nice.
And I was like, dude, "Who's this Toronto motherfucker?"
Dude, you think that's funny? I was recently in Regina Beach, Saskatchewan, which is a town of maybe 1,000 people or something. I don't know. It's small town Saskatchewan, Prairies, Canada. And I went to a bar on a Friday night. I took a picture. Oh, I wanted to tweet it. It said...
You have it on your phone?
I do have it on my phone. I think I took a picture. Maybe this isn't funny. Maybe I only think this is funny. Here, that photo I took, huh?
Nice. That's a great photo.
Isn't that awesome? Slightly blurry though.
That should be his profile photo.
Oh, there's not.
Oh, the dynamic range of that camera's balls.
Oh, I know.
It's not doing it justice.
Anyway, no, where was the... I thought that was a funny... No gang colors, no pets. It's like the 2 rules of the bar. No pets, no gang colors.
There are gang colors in this vicinity. And people have to be reminded to not bring their pets to the bar and grill.
Yeah, pretty funny. Anyway... so I go there, and you think it's amazing you're the only male without a ball cap? Dude, I might have been the only human being without a ball cap there. The fucking servers had ball caps. Every girl there was in a ball cap.
It must just be the culture, or just
dude. It was amazing.
Which is
absolutely amazing.
And hey, we're not saying ball caps aren't Perrier, right?
Dude, I think ball caps in a girl are very attractive.
Yeah,
actually.
ball caps. So
I was in heaven.
You're wearing one right now.
Yeah, no.
We're not racist against ball caps.
No.
It's just that the fact that everybody's wearing one says something about the culture, and I find that it's interesting that like the fashion is you have to do this, and it's like I stick out because I'm not wearing a ball cap, and it's like I recognize that fact, and but in certain circles, in certain cultures, ball caps are not considered classy items, but we grew up in Calgary. I wore a fucking ball cap all through grade 11, like 24/7 pretty much. Like it was like.
Well, I literally am wearing one again today, as I normally do on these streams. When I haven't showered, man. I went to this wedding last night, like 3 hours away, and I crashed on a couch, and I woke up there, and I got back like late for the stream, and it's like there was no time to shower. Man, I haven't even brushed my teeth. I'm really sorry about that. Hope you don't smell that. But,
no, all I smell is your
really
insanely
gross.
wicked burps.
I sometimes I don't shower. I often don't shower. I'm not a shower every day kind of guy. But I always brush my motherfucking teeth. You brush your motherfucking teeth. You change your motherfucking socks every motherfucking day. Come on,
all the time.
Shit.
Yeah, man. I brush after meals. Like if I have something sugary, I have a hot chocolate. I'm fucking brushing my teeth after because I can feel the.
Oh, I feel the sugar on there. I know. Yeah. So I actually feel fucking gross. But whatever, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I could go brush my teeth right now, I guess, but
so
I don't care that much.
So the photo contest. What are we gonna do? What's the topic? What have we been talking about?
First, people ask me about CS:GO. I didn't get to see the CS:GO finals today.
I heard they got a new record for viewership.
Over 400,000.
Yeah.
And now they broke the previous record at the Activism event that we were at. Now, do you remember sitting there and watching how exciting it was?
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Remember?
Yep.
And Polish
live audience.
It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. That was 290K. They cracked 400. That's how much CSGO is growing. CSGO is out of control. I actually just updated and on my other computer and installed and updated CSGO on this computer. And I actually plan to start playing again and to try to get not shitty. Well,
there's another tweet that the players, the number of players of CS:GO went up 30% because of the files.
Well, they put in like hats and items that, like basically they TF2'd it MMO, and then player base is like woo, like I can get like custom gun skins and cut and woo. And that's it. And people are really excited about it, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming. I've seen some weird tweets from people like Paul Schiller's like, I'm trading this skin looking for this kind of weird skin. So there's, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, right? There's item drops and you can get custom looking stuff in
item drops. So you kill somebody and there's an item and you pick it up? Like, is that how it works? And
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, 400,000 is not that impressive to League of Legends, but League's in a league of its own. Which isn't really a pun. It just kind of is.
Someone suggests me touching your armpit hair as the photo contest.
Yeah, so if we could do something about armpit hair. But
yeah,
I don't know what to do, man. I want to do it something subtly related to the movie, but then they don't know. But now I just ruined it because I mentioned that. But it'd be cool. Yeah. Something that we have a contest now, and later on, like, oh my god,
we know there's a scene about it in the movie. Yeah, those motherfuckers. They used our art. They crowdsourced that for the movie.
Yeah. Oh, Photoshop Jeremy dying.
Yes,
well, I don't want to spoil anything, but like that would be cool. I'd be like, they got us.
That's right.
I don't know.
Reboot of Gauntlet 2014? What?
Let me put this apple juice down. There's some Googling that needs to happen at this very second.
Good thing I wasn't taking a drink at that point. I would have spat it all over the camera there.
Gauntlet 2014. What? Wow. Trailer. Can't play it on stream.
Yeah, I wish I could. You could play it on
Gauntlet returns to PC.
PC?
This summer?
What?
See its brand new look?
Dude, it's all 3D and shit.
Dude, I want to see its brand new look. I'm going to turn the volume down. Okay. They want to hear this. I want to see its brand new look. This is amazing. Dude, we played a lot of Gauntlet.
Dude, Warner Brothers games? What the fuck?
Warner? Uh-oh, that kind of made my heart jump a bit.
Atari is Gauntlet, man.
The darkness calls.
Oh, nice.
Four
I love
heroes
it. Dude, wow.
To answer.
That's the perspective thing.
Fearless champions.
Dude, Red
destined
Warrior.
to face the horrors below. Warrior.
Valkyrie. Yeah, that was my Elf.
Elf.
Yeah, I think Valkyrie is my favorite. Wizard is so much damage with such a fucking win.
Uniquely skilled in battle.
Oh, dude, combat! Oh, the combat looks awesome.
Dude, it looks like a little mini Diablo, right?
Dude, look at those arrows, man! Oh, Wizard's got chain lightning and shit.
Together they fight.
What the fuck, man?
I'm buying the shit out of this shit. When does this come out? I'm buying 2 copies.
Claiming untold riches.
They still have a potion. They must still have a potion.
Slaying legions of monsters.
This is
The arcade classic. Reborn.
They're jumping over lava and shit. Oh, they got bosses now.
The darkness.
I don't think it was the dragon.
Gauntlet, that looked really cool. I'll turn the volume back up here.
What a great use of like an IP.
Yeah.
So could they hear us talking about it? No.
Gauntlet 24 release. Yeah, they could hear us talking, I think.
Oh, okay, good.
September 3rd.
So we're very excited about it.
Pre-purchase on Steam?
Wow.
Pre-order includes digital what? What bonus?
$20. I love it. $20.
Oh, a digital comic from DC. Wow. My excitement.
Well, no, I'm actually really glad that that's the pre-order bonus because it's bullshit. If it was an actual you want it pre-order bonus?
Costume or something. Dude. Huh.
We could hear the trailer, by the way. Laugh my ass off.
No, they're bastards. No.
We heard the whole trailer.
Shit.
GG. This half hour is brought to you by Silence.
Oh, sorry guys. How long have we been streaming? Oh. Interesting, man. Well, if anyone wants to pre-order that on my Steam account, I mean, I wouldn't hate you. I'm logged in. Oh, I was on Jeff's computer, and he closed it.
Oh.
But, wow, that's amazing. Classic art. That's some hilariously classic art.
Oh, is that what's on the, yeah.
Dude, fucking Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. There's a $110 digital download pack. It's called the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Pro pack. Makes you pro. $110 for a digital. Like, advertised on my PS4 when I booted up. It's like, Call of Duty Advanced. Like, man, I don't know what state of mind I'd have to be in to spend $110 for a digital copy of Call of Duty.
Like, well, you know, the age-old video game argument stands as like how many hours you play, how many dollars per hour. If you play Call of Duty for the next 8 months, you know, sure, 4 hours a day,
then you have no taste. That's one conclusion we can draw.
But it's like still it's less than a movie. It's less than, you know, it's less than a lot of
movies are so ridiculously overpriced. Already addressed this, man. But I understand. You go for a nice meal, and you know, it's half a Call of Duty. For a pro digital download pack.
Did I tell you Guardians of the Galaxy? I went and saw it. Did I tell you about this? Did I told you about this? Is what it is. So,
yes, yeah. No, you told me about this. You should tell them about this.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So $25.
Yeah.
Is what it costs you to go see Guardians of the Galaxy with some crazy bullshit chair. Well, I shouldn't say bullshit chair. Some crazy chair that moves like a ride and tilts and vibrates and like, and I loved it. I don't think it's a gimmick. I think it's a great value add to that kind of cinema. Obviously, I'm not going to watch The Godfather and want my chair to move, right? But I'm going to go to Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to watch a bunch of action scenes, and I'm going to want my chair to fucking move. It added so much to the experience. Also, just for the fact that my seat was reserved, and I had a specific seat that I didn't have to get there early and save and all that bullshit. So I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and I enjoyed it a lot more in this moving chair.
It's $25 theater. Arrived there, sat down, reserved seat, bust out the Perrier.
Hey man, just fucking drinking my Perrier I bought for $16 at the concession. No. So I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and I enjoyed it, even though, and there was an article written about this, about how the movie has no real plot. There's no plot. It's just good guy wants something, bad guy wants something, they fight over it, movie ends. That's literally what the plot is. Like, there's not really much going on. There's some things that they seed and then they reveal later, and there's some character interactions and relationships changing and working together and becoming friends. But that's the whole movie. There's no twists in the plot. It's just out, and then I'm not going to spoil it about who wins, but at the end you feel good, and it's about the feel-good ending. And there is a reveal that's seated right in the beginning. And Jared, this is, if you ever watch the movie, which you should do in a seat, you should think about this fact. So there's a seated like mystery in the beginning of the movie that is not revealed to the end of the movie, and it is so foreseeable and callable. And I wish I could talk to you about the specifics right now, and I wouldn't spoil it on the stream. Well, spoil the super obvious thing. My theory is that the writers of the movie made it so obvious on purpose. They tuned the obvious knob to the right moment where the average moviegoer will be like, "Oh, I knew it. I called it, and I feel good because I called it," but still feel that it wasn't so obvious that they have nothing to be proud of for calling it. Yeah. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's going to be the thing." And it's the thing. They're like, "I called it. I'm smart. And it's part of the feeling good at the end is feeling you are smart for calling this obvious plot point. Wow. And I think that is the fine-tuned movie writing that is Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that it's all about, films are all about sending you, commercial films are all about sending you out of the theater, walking home, feeling high and good about your life and about the world and about this mythology that you just witnessed, right? So it does a great job in that respect. And I was like, I called it, but then I thought about it 5 minutes later. I'm like, no, that was so obvious. I'm falling for this shit. I'm like, oh, I felt good because I thought I was smart because of this thing, but now it's. The movies don't make you smarter. Guardians of the Galaxy isn't going to make... They might reinforce the thing that you like to believe, that is you're super intelligent and awesome. And, but...
Dude, the Pwnage chair movement. Imagine designing that. Like Jeremy's hoping your chair starts doing this. And that would be amazing.
That's the other thing is that a new art form was born, which is the chair programming.
Wow.
How do you, in cinema... program the chair? So obviously if there's gun firing, it's the chair goes that's obvious, right? But
whenever Jeremy's playing a game, your chair just starts going like this.
But during swooping establishment shots of alien cities, the chair tilted slightly, and then the shot would cut to a different shot, a different angle, and it would tilt back slightly. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's adding to my experience of this establishing shot with a slight tilt, and it's like it feels like I'm in a plane. I'm banking in a plane, and it's like, and there was like a door slam shot. It's like boom, and you feel the boom in your chair too, and like all this stuff. It's like, and the angle of it, like the rockets take off, like boom, you're taking off too. It's like there's a real art form to this chair programming. Which I think might might be on the DVD, right? If you own a home chair that moves, there's like a DVD track for the like whatever 16 kilobytes of data of how to move the chair and all that. But anyway, go see Guardians of the Galaxy in a mega chair for $25. That's how you should experience it.
All right.
If you have the means. But if now if I go see a movie like that, I'm gonna have to have the chair because I can't just watch it on a screen when I'm not moving. Yeah. Anyway, there's my rant.
Cool. Yeah. Have you heard of a movie? People asking, anyone going to watch The Giver? You've heard of The Giver? Like the first thought in my head was, Giver, eh? Mm-hmm. Giver. Is it a story of
what is it? Is it a person that gives things? Is it a gift giver?
Is it a guy that tries real hard and isn't very smart? Is it a romance between two gay lovers? Right. The sequel will come later. The Taker. That's terrible. That's actually it's a really terrible joke.
I'm gonna look up what the chair is. I gotta reboot my phone. As people were saying that I might be causing some noise in the stream, but
wow.
Booting my phone.
Is that the doc on Fubar? Exactly. That was the name I was desperately searching for.
The chair is distracting everything. Come on. Well, I don't know. Maybe you watch movies differently from the way that I do, but.
Have you been keeping tabs on the rise of the Super Smash Bros. Melee competitive scene? Maybe not, because I didn't think it's been rising since I knew of how big it was. I mean, Melee was big before Brawl even came out. It had a really dedicated cult scene. And then Brawl came out and got kind of rejected because it really didn't require the same technical skill that Melee did. And then there was some real bullshit like tripping in there, and if everything felt floaty and slow and stupid. It didn't have all the technique. So what didn't surprise me at all, being a huge Melee player, that Brawl sucked, because we kind of thought it sucked. Dave and I played it for a couple weeks, and then we just went literally back to playing Melee. And what kind of, it doesn't happen very often, right? Where you go back to an older iteration of a franchise. But if it's gotten even bigger, like if it's like significantly bigger than back then yeah, I guess I didn't know. I didn't know that. I check out Evo highlights, and I keep wanting to go to an Evo, but it still seems, like Street Fighter's pretty big, stuff like that. I don't know how into Smash Bros. People were there, or if I don't know if did Brawl eventually catch up, or is it? I would hope Melee is still the pimp one. I did pre-order the new Smash Bros. Wii U. I don't know if I'll even play it very much, because I don't have anyone to play it with in real time, and I think fighting games online kind of suck, because they're the fastest, most precise competitive video game that exists, period. It's not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of fact. You're talking to the frame, timing required. There's nothing comparable to that in RTS or FPS is the closest online, functions very well over the internet. Fighting games, no, man. Like, you need to be next to a guy to really have the proper fighting game experience. Mm-hmm. And until we're fiber in every household, Seoul, Korea, with 3 millisecond pings, and even then, I'd argue, it might be too much. Fighting games online have just been balls, man, unless you're a noob. Everyone that tells me, no, fighting games are great online, I'm kind of like, yeah, but you're probably a massive noob. So, fighting games are great if Dave moves back and wants to get his ass kicked every day in Smash Brothers.
Oh, man, how do we get on a coffee run with Deadmau5? I would love to.
What's a coffee run with Deadmau5? Is this like comedians go for coffee with Jerry Seinfeld?
It's a web series where it's largely unedited, but he picks you up in his
so it's like blatantly ripping out Jerry Seinfeld.
no, it's totally different. It's just the footage from the car. They do drive through, and he's in his Ferrari with the painted like that whatever toast cat bullshit, and so he had Rob Ford.
That's the one thing. That's the one time I heard of it. Yeah, it was.
That's one time I've heard of it too.
Rob Ford gets coffee with Deadmau5.
And do you know what Rob Ford orders from Tim Hortons?
Double, extra cream, extra sugar. Like I don't know. Like
no, 6 espressos in 1 cup. You get 6 espressos or whatever. Was it 6? Someone should fact check me. But it was like, can I get like 6 espressos in 1 cup, please? Like 1 big cup. Because man, he weighs so much. Like the caffeine in him. Like he needs to like.
Wow, dude, he's a crackhead. You think coffee's doing anything for him? Like 6 espressos, so he can feel it.
It was 5, yeah.
5 espressos. Yeah. Wow,
yeah.
That's just so he can feel it. Wow, what a sad man. Jesus. Fucking Rob Ford. If he gets reelected, I am just moving so far away from Toronto. Holy shit.
Well, you can't. If you move away from Toronto, you're moving to Rob Ford land. If you move to the outskirts, but like, man, isn't it amazing that she's neck and neck with Olivia Chow.
Yeah,
it's Olivia Chow and Rob Ford. Like
yeah,
they're such polar opposites.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think Sweden's amazing. I've never been there, but I want to move there. So I think that says a lot about their international reputation.
They topped some other chart recently about. What was it? It was either like the most like sustainable or the most like they have a surplus of what money in the government, like there's no debt. I can't remember what it was, but they topped some chart about like the best place to live or whatever. Like again recently, and Copenhagen, Denmark, 40% of people commute to work on bicycles. And they have this new like skyway of bicycle lanes.
Yes,
like,
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh my god, man! I love it. I would love to bike to work every day on some crazy skyway bike system.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of the Scandinavian countries, from what I know of them. Iceland and Norway and Sweden in particular. Although I've been to neither of those 3 countries, but I've read a lot about them. And when I became a father, I started asking myself some pretty serious questions, like, do I want to raise my children in Canada? Where would I raise them if I don't want to raise them here? What's the best place to be for my family in going forward? My grandchildren, my great grandchildren. Like, if you have an opportunity to uproot and reroute somewhere, if you have that privilege, which is rare, to have, but it's like, where do you go? Do you have the balls to make the move to go to the best place possible? And ultimately, didn't really have the balls. I think more than anything else is that. I know Canada, I'm comfortable here, my family's here, and I know it's not the best country in the world, but it's a pretty good fucking country, and I speak the language real well. And so uprooting to a place in which I don't speak the primary language and it may not be as good as it was in the brochure, and being so far from my friends and family was eventually too big of an obstacle to do it. So who knows if I'll regret that later on, or if I'll ever be able to know if I should regret it. But I legitimately and very seriously considered moving out of Canada to a Scandinavian country after a lot of research about their culture and the social mobility in countries like that compared to, America, which Canada is becoming more and more like every single day as we elect Stephen Harper's and Rob Ford's. So yeah, but I don't know. So I decided to stick it out with Canada and maybe at some point in my life get involved in politics and actually try to affect change, actually try to make Canada the country I want it to be instead of just complaining about it like most people are talking about on Facebook. But you have to get active. We do live in a democracy that still functions, I think, better than our southern neighbors. And you actually can make a difference. Like it's not impossible. Yeah. So I'm tempted to get politically active. Yeah. But then again, I hate anyone in politics, and I don't trust them, so what does that say about myself? I don't know. But what does it say about someone who wants to get into politics? But Canada is kind of the light version of America now. We're like the slightly more polite, slightly less gun-crazy version of the U.S. In fact, it's so similar to the U.S. in so many ways. I've spent well over a year, maybe 2 years of my life in the U.S. So like a healthy percentage of my lifetime I've spent in the U.S. So I think I have a pretty good understanding of the U.S. and obviously a great understanding of Canada, having been here for the other 90% of my life, 90+%, and they're remarkably similar. Like even the accents. I mean, if I'm in California, you don't know I'm Canadian. The Canadian accent, the Toronto accent's much closer to the California accent than going a couple states east to Texas, say, in which all of a sudden the accent's significantly different. But Yeah, I think the biggest difference is just everyone here leans slightly more left compared to people in the States, and there's no gun culture. There's no association between owning firearms and freedom. You know, it's a part of American culture that's deeply rooted and is a result of years of indoctrination, generations of indoctrination that have made this like association in Americans' brains between owning guns and freedom, although they're totally fucking unrelated. But other than that, like, take the guns out of the equation, it's like not too far fucking off, man. Like, yeah, and certainly not Scandinavia. But, you know, I'll stick around for a while, man. Run for mayor, then run for premier, then run for prime fucking minister, and hope all these streams don't come back and bite me in the ass, man. I actually moved out of Toronto. That's how I could afford to own a place for the first time in my life. But somehow I'm quite a ways. I lived downtown Toronto for the past 10 years. So I lived. I originally lived at St. George and Bloor. If you're familiar with Toronto, St. George and Bloor, right in the heart of the University District. That's when I first moved there. I lived at Yonge and St. Clair for quite a few years. I lived on the waterfront for a few years, and so I've lived everywhere, but just right downtown, like in the cluster of the highest population density in Canada, and and I've moved out of the city, way out of the big city, and in fact moved to the edge of the place I now live. So I'm on the outskirts, and so if you go like 2 blocks east of me, it's Farmers Field, and I fucking love it. Like I'm a very big fan of the silence and the fresh air and the stars in the sky and things that I remember as a kid that I seem to have forgot about. And it's really about trying to give my son, you know, that type of experience, you know, an experience with fresh air and stars and safety, where he can just get on his bike and ride, and I don't give a fuck. There's no one around. Like, it's just, you know, I wouldn't let him just go ride his bike downtown Toronto with all the fucking crackheads and all the cars and whatever else. You know, you don't just let your son, you know, 5-year-old do that. But here, I wouldn't bother me for a second. So, you know. Thanks for voting for me, man. I hope you do vote for me. I hope you have a chance to vote for me. But oh, I would love to move to Swedenland. I can't do the Jeremy accent, man. I forgot how. Hey, but did you know, if you miss it, man, you can go back. Jeremy did a stream. I think it was a couple of months back, maybe three months back-ish. Someone in the chat would probably be able to link it to you, and that would be amazing. But there is an entire multi-hour stream in character where Jeremy shows up, and I'd highly recommend checking that out. In fact, it's a fucking tragedy that we don't have a highlights cut on YouTube of something from that stream, because you know, obviously no stream was as stressful on Jared as that stream. So. Jared, do you have a line between turning a blind eye to problems and making a serious stance? Do you dislike when people know what's happening and just don't do anything? I don't blame people for not doing anything, because, you know, most of my life I felt pretty powerless, and it wasn't until I like hit 30 and saw people around me, people my age, getting into politics, and realized, like, wow, like any asshole really can get involved in that, and really can put a vote down, and really can get involved in this sort of process and actually make change. I grew up, I guess I was just too cynical or something. I don't blame them. I think what bothers me is when people get on Facebook or Twitter and hashtag some shit or dump ice in their head and think they're actually doing something, right? It's the modern version of prayer. You know, as religion's dying off quickly, and everyone thought, oh, I'm doing something great. Like, I didn't have to put in any effort, but I can feel good about doing something, even though you actually did absolutely fucking nothing. The modern version of prayer is hashtagging. It's like, yeah, fucking hashtag, yeah, Coney, yeah, fucking this and that. That shit, that really, really bothers me. It's like when you're not even turning a blind eye, you're acknowledging the problem and then imagining you're doing something about it. Like, that shit really fucking bothers me. But if someone's like, I don't feel like I can make a difference, like, I'm still not convinced you really can, so I can't really blame them for it. Don't really get mad. It's people that are fantasizing that they are making a difference. That really bothers me. That bothers me. When you were a kid, could you have imagined starting and being the face of something like Pwnage? Do you ever sit back and nostalgia about it? I had a pretty active imagination as a kid, but I could have, everyone's like, imagine if I was Brad Pitt, imagine. But I never actually expected it, which is a pretty big difference. Like, I've imagined a lot of I've imagined being, on Mars. I imagined for a long time being a great novelist. I really wanted to write novels when I was really, really young. And now I'm way too intimidated to even give that a shot, now that I realize just how difficult it is. But I never expected anything like that to actually happen. Like, it seems so, fantastical. But and do I nostalgia about it? Like, all the time. Like, still to this day, like, I'll think back. It's been 10 years since we started Pwnage, and I just think back to the old days, man, and hanging out with Dave and the barbecues in the backyard when all of us were, like, either still in university or just out of university, and we're all just in our mid-20s, and we're just, not a care in the world, just not a care, man. Just really relaxing and having some beer and having so much fun with it all. Whereas even now, working on Pwnage, although it's still fun and there's these moments of fun, it's a different atmosphere. It's a totally different vibe, because it kind of can't tank, right? Like, I have a family, something has to come of it. There's a stress involved in the outcome. Whereas before, I really didn't care. Like, if Pwnage never did anything, I'm like, whatever, I'm done something else, and that's it. Like, I would have just done something else and done something else and done something else. Like, I never cared about failing back then. It just never entered my mind, and I was so happy eating tuna sandwiches and peanut butter sandwiches every fucking day, which sounds crazy, but I really was. I don't mind sleeping on couches. I loved it. But now there's stakes. Now there's like a need to not fail and eat peanut butter sandwiches. So that's the one difference.
The need to not fail?
The need to not fail. Just nostalgia about Pwnage and thinking back to the early days, and I think that's fundamentally the biggest difference in working on Pwnage back in the day and now. Is it's still fun and stuff, but back then failing was like, it's all right. We're in our mid-20s, man, eating tuna anyways. What do you have to lose? But now I don't want to go back to eating tuna sandwiches. I don't want my son to be picking through garbage cans to look for his next meal. So, I don't want my son sleeping on couches as he goes to kindergarten, So there's a necessity for result now. Did you change your shirt? What?
No.
No, okay.
No, people think about how I took a shit, not took a shirt.
Oh.
I actually flossed my teeth.
Did you?
Because
wow,
I had a piece of kale stuck in there.
Oh, brutal. Kale.
Yeah, and it was like,
fucking.
I don't know if you noticed.
Is that with your quinoa?
No, the bacon.
Oh, the bacon. Okay, all right, bacon. Oh. He's kale, still a bit of a common man. We can relate.
Bacon salad. But yeah, I had for the first hour of the stream, it was like kale stuck in my teeth. It was like annoying. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, that would be pretty annoying.
But now I'm trying. It's better.
I have to pee really bad.
Oh.
Can you hold it for a second? And we'll come back.
Oh, high class beverage. It's good. Have we decided on a photo contest subject? I don't know, man. Jeff dual streamed over your toilet. That's funny. People remember that story, huh? That's didn't think that would be one for the ages. But yeah, this water is good. Ultima Online related drawing contest. Oh. So what was this? So someone is linking a photo of Joel and Jarrett superimposed over the Lion King. What was the reason for this photo? Like, what was your understanding of the photo contest that made you make this entry? I don't know what the topic would have been. Come up with ideas and make a straw poll. I think we're still on the coming up with ideas part. Steak grilling stream. I could do that. I could show you guys how to grill a steak. It's not hard. But there is an art to it. There are some subtleties that can make or break a good steak and a good choice of meat. Oh, Jeremy's death. Oh, he was joking because it was the context of he said, let's choose something that has to do with the movie, but no spoilers. And then he said Jeremy's death, implying that it was a joke about Jeremy's going to die in the movie, which I can neither confirm nor deny. Sorry about that. I'm sorry you wasted your time, but we are enjoying this, though, in any case. Welsh black beef is the best, really? Ah.
Back.
So this was an entry to our photo contest. Remember you joked about Jeremy's death being the topic?
Oh yeah.
So somebody made this.
Well, let's make it then. That's it.
All right, it's officially Jeremy's death.
Jeremy's death.
So
nice and light-hearted.
Link your entries. Jeremy's death in the movie.
Sweet.
In the Pwnage movie, Jeremy's death. Link your entries in chat, and then we'll just open a new window, keep opening a new window. We'll have a whole bunch of tabs, and then we can just drag and drop them.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll totally work. Yeah, good questions, Jem, by the way. I answered yeah. Got a couple recognitions in the last couple of days. I got recognized on the highway driving.
What?
Yeah. And Stacy called it. She's like, the guys in the car over there, they totally recognize you. And I'm like,
so what happened? How did you know they recognized you?
Well, because this car pulled up and then went behind us, and then also whipped up in the passing lane. And Stacy's like, the guys in that car, she knows from when they pulled up beside us on the right side the first time. So what they did is then they went behind us and got to the driver's side. And then, so she's like, yeah, it's the car. So I see them coming, and I'm just like, so when they drive by, I just kind of glance over like this, and they're both looking at them, they're like, yeah. And they're just doing the super excited. And so I'm like, either I'm the best driver ever, and they're like, dude, way to highway drive, good courtesy, or they're fans of the show. And then just last night at the wedding, as I was outside on the patio, it's on the street. Nursing my beer, some guy came by and literally says holy fuck, you're FPS Doug.
He said that to you?
He said that. He literally says holy fuck, you're FPS Doug. And I was like, pretty close, man, pretty close. Oh man, I love the show. Bye. He's talking to me, and he didn't pick up on my I'm not really FPS Doug, but he's like, oh, gotta get a photo. So he stops his girlfriend. He's with 3 of his friends, his girlfriend and a couple of the friends, 2 couples I guess they were, and so he stops and he gets a photo, and he takes a photo with me and everything, and he looks at the photo. He's like, oh, thanks. He's like, fuck, you're not FPS Doug, you're the other guy. And I'm like,
other guy.
I'm like, yeah, I'm the other guy, man.
The other guy.
Didn't have my bandana on, but he was super happy no matter what. So it was 2 recognitions in 3 days, one on the highway and one else we had. Doesn't happen so often anymore, man. It's maybe once a month, but it's bang bang. Makes it feel so good. They're like, thank you. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I was bored. We just watched a wedding ceremony. Nobody likes that in the world, I think. I'm sorry. Maybe some type of people like that. I don't judge them, but yeah. All of a sudden, it makes me feel pretty good. Makes me feel like a celebrity, especially when other people are walking by, or there's this super hot hostess standing right there, and all of a sudden she's like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck? Some people just stopped him and asked for a picture, and then got go giddy and walked away giddy. It's a nice feeling, man.
You're like, yeah, I'm Brad Pitt.
A little bit of Brad Pitt in there. Yeah.
Where did you get the girl who sang World of Warcraft is a feeling? Were there tryouts? Who wrote the song? So Sabina, who sang the female parts of World of Warcraft is a feeling, I saw her performing at my university, and I was like, oh, I wrote down her name, and I was like, Disney singer, because she sounded exactly like Disney. So I asked her later, I'm like, do you want to sing the song? There were no auditions or tryouts. And who wrote the song? Jarrett wrote a poem on World of Warcraft, because I didn't play at the time. I didn't know what the fuck I was writing about. So he wrote a poem, and I took lyrics from the poem and worked them into a melody I had, and then recorded the tracks and made it. But yeah, in fact, if you want to know the original poem, go to the Pwnage soundtrack on YouTube, and there's part of the graphics that play when you listen to the Pwnage soundtrack on YouTube. You can see Jarrett's actual original scanned poem that he wrote about World of Warcraft, and you can see my handwritten notes on it and the parts that I took. And I think my favorite part was, I can't wait to log in and hop on a griffin. It was beautiful. So we used that as sort of the main, repetitive theme, or the chorus-ish. It's not the chorus, but it's the end of the chorus. But yeah, it was good stuff. You can read the original poem that Jarrett wrote.
Yeah, my WoW poem. Mm-hmm. Is the Gamer Army coming back? Hopefully for the movie premiere. Wouldn't mind getting the Gamer Army, but in terms of having the ARG and stuff like that, like I don't expect we'll ever continue that kind of stuff. It'll just sort of evolve more into like official fan club and separate and more exclusive forums and stuff like that. And certainly if you show up at any event, especially the movie, and you're in Gamer Army attire, then I'm going to talk to you. So there's that. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, he'll hand job too.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand job. Pretty good at it.
Hand job. That's what this is, right? Like shaking.
Yeah, that's a hand job.
It's a hand job, right? It's the standard North American business greeting. That's what it's called, right?
Hey, Shadow Link. Glad you made it, man.
Nice.
I love the Pwnage soundtrack. I still occasionally find its way into my playlist, and there's only a tiny bit of embarrassment that I'm listening to the Pwnage music, but I fucking love it. Like
we better not play it on the stream, otherwise we'll get 30 minutes of.
Yeah. You know what's funny? that we playing our own music would probably get our stream.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't turned any of that shit on. I haven't activated any kind of like take down your video because you're playing my music. I haven't turned that shit on, which apparently you can now through iTunes or whatever. But anyway, sweet.
I just had who's online?
Mr.
He's away for one day. He's just logged in. Mr. Gardner.
Yeah.
But
hey, I wanted to. This was on my list of things to bring up on the stream. Did you see what I linked on Facebook before I came over here?
I saw you linked to Facebook after you were supposed to have been here.
Yes.
That thing. I'm like, where the fuck is Jeff? Facebook update. It's like, dude, check out this video. I'm like, what the fuck is Jeff making shit on Facebook?
I'm waiting for you to respond to my text messages that you didn't listen to. That you didn't get.
That I got on stream.
Yeah, exactly. But so anyway, it is a video from r/cringe, which I am subscribed to, and you seem preoccupied, Jarrett.
Sorry, there was one of those like unauthorized login to your account emails that just caught my eye. It's like, but anyway,
so it's a video from r/cringe that
I watched it before you linked it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, before you even linked it, and I actually made it 40 seconds, so I didn't make it nearly as far.
I wanted to do it on stream. I wanted to like see how long you could watch on stream.
Oh no, sorry, man. Oh, dude, honestly, the only reason I made it by 15 seconds is because in the fucking description, the guy's like, wait for 30 seconds to figure out why it's cringy. It's like,
no, it's
you don't need to wait 30 seconds, dude. Like,
okay. Oh, it's so
dude.
Jared, here's why I think this is like an interesting video. If I were to ask you, I'm like, make a video, Jarrett, using your body, your brain, whatever resources you have.
Yeah, that's the video. It was just linked,
Yeah, that's the video. So
yeah.
So make a video, Jarrett, that 95% of people can't get through the first minute.
Yeah.
And it's 5 minutes long. But make a video that that will be a challenging task.
A PewDiePie video for me, man. It's like,
No, for you.
Yeah.
For you to make a video that
the 95% of everybody else can't sit through. Yeah. It would be a tough challenge.
It'd be tough. Like, what would you do? Like, what would you do? How would you get them? It's like, you can't, the vanilla approach of like, don't watch this video, turn it off. Turn it off. No, don't watch. I'm trying to, because people will probably be able to get through that. But like, this person has accomplished something amazing. It's a beautiful video in that it's a video that you cannot watch, and I think part of it has to like look at the thumbs up, thumbs down. I think part of it has to do with the fact that like you have to believe that that's funny and then just say that stuff. You can't just say if I said word for word her act, I'm not a good enough actor to convince people that I believe that that's funny, right?
Yeah.
So like, oh man, the Reddit cringe army, sir. Oh.
Just please don't friend zone me, milady. I'm a rational thinker just like yourself. Not to mention prevention. Dude, it kind of bothers me that every video I watch on Reddit, I come here and there's some like low Reddit like,
army, yeah.
And it's
Reddit's here. It's like,
and it's, I mean, obviously, like I'm fully aware of how many people have no sense of humor. I'm very, very aware. What shocks me is the 101 thumbs up that everyone thinks that they're in on it, that thumbsing up and making stuff comment is funny, and I really actually imagine like a bunch of fedora wearing neckbeard guys like chuckling as they hit the fucking thumbs up. Like I don't know if it's
yeah,
it's amazing to me. Like I can't believe video after video.
The Reddit army is a 4chan troll. I think they're just making fun of Reddit. But okay, so here's the other thing with this.
But look at how many fedora wearing neckbeard profile pictures are in the comment thread, dude. This is amazing. Look at this. There's good guy Gary.
It's dude. These are trolls. The guy's saying.
Well, they're all trolls. No, yeah. That's mean. But they're all trolls, and they all think they're funny. But it's not funny. Like the troll's so dead. The joke.